We're here in South Florida, and the main thing that we do here at Truly Tropical is we grow tropical fruit. And that has suddenly become more challenging because we have gotten very cold weather. And not only were the temperatures low, I have gotten some below freezing temperatures around the farm, but it's also windy. It's really cold. And so we had to come up with some strategies, for how to take care of our plants. We, of course, want all of our potted plants to live. I'm not really concerned about the plants in the ground because they're pretty old and they sort of have adjusted to all sorts of weather over the years. So first thing I'd like to do is just show you a few things around the grove that demonstrate what you might be able to do at your place. And I think that I think that all of the strategies that we are using are at least a little bit effective. Nothing is as good as having them inside the house, which we've done with our small plants, but we basically don't have room to protect them in any substantial way. There's just so many potted plants, so we've come up with other strategies. One of the things is, this is our big Mogoba tree. And so we put a bunch of plants all together underneath it. It's a little micro environment. It's not like toasty warm, but it is warmer than just a few feet away out in the wind. So I think this will work pretty well. Another thing that we did is almost all of our 1-gallon plants we put inside the house. Also in the garage, we made some room for some 7-gallon plants. I almost forgot, the van is full of plants, stacked. We put the biggest ones on the first layer, and then we put the smaller plants above. Those are some of the strategies we've used, but I want to show you yet another strategy that we used. So let's go to another place. So here are a bunch of mostly 7-gallon plants. There's some 15-gallon, but what we did here is just move everything that we could very close together. And then yesterday afternoon, we put this, which is a ground cloth. I think blocked out some of the cold, put it over the tops of the trees, just covered them as much as possible to sort of enclose what warmth there was, and then also hopefully some of the heat from the sun would get to the black cloth that we put over it. Things look pretty good, but sometimes you don't know right away if a plant has been damaged, but I'm feeling pretty good about this area. Another situation, actually last time I was here, this ladder wasn't in this position. The wind even knocked over the ladder. But this area of the shade house was not covered at all. We found some stuff, not ideal stuff, but enough to make it a little bit better inside. This just is, doesn't block out as much as what we just were looking at. So strap this to the framing. This is sort of a weird situation. I mean, we're dealing with things that we basically threw away years ago and uncovered them and are using them in this situation. Anything is better than nothing here. And this is blocking out some of the cold wind, and so far the plants inside are looking good. We have a slightly different situation down here. You know, same sort of thing. There are some extra plants beyond the shade house, so we had this better piece of shade cloth here and took that all the way down. So this is the northwest corner of the shade house, and this got a lot of attention, the better material, you know, out of the things that we had to work with, because we felt that most of the cold wind would be coming from the northwest. And so this is the northwest corner of the shade house. And yeah, so far things are looking pretty good. I am seeing a little bit of some of these leaves through, you know, the shade cloth I'm seeing are looking a little limp. So basically that means I need to get in there and water that as soon as I can. This area is usually just 7 gallons and they're alphabetized and that kind of thing. Not anymore. This was hurry up and try and protect them. So we did have this one 15-gallon very big that doesn't seem to want to resist the wind. So hopefully that stays up for now. But our strategy here with the 7 gallons is we don't have any protected space. You know, we put the stuff in the garage that would fit there. We put the small plants in the house that would fit there, but we have a lot more plants than that. And so this is the cluster strategy. And basically we're just putting a whole bunch of plants together in these rows and hoping that they sort of soften the blow for each other as far as the amount of cold that each one will absorb. Of course, I've been watering these plants every day and sometimes twice a day. I need to do that again later today. But this is like, these are different groups, and I think that, you know, that will be better for them. It's not ideal, but we don't have the ideal situation for all the plants. Here is another strategy. Unfortunately, the wind was not really taken into account for this, or, you know, for this strategy, because it was working a lot better before we had a lot of wind that pulled this down. This was over the top of these trees, and so that way it would keep out some of the cold. This other one here is a little bit better. It's a smaller cluster, so we were able to cover everything. We used a little pot of soil for the weight here, but basically it's a better space. I think it's protected more from the other side too. And the plants in here are getting some sunlight through this cloth, and they're looking like everybody's intact, so that's a good thing too. So the clusters are great, and then being able to put something over and, you know, like weight it down, because this is very light and the winds that we've been having have been very strong. And so if it didn't have all of these little concrete things and bricks and such, this would be uncovered like the one next door here. And so this, we expect the temperatures to be cold certainly tonight and probably tomorrow also. So we'll just keep an eye on the temperatures to figure out when to take all of this off. But even with the coverings on these, in these different situations, I can water most of the plants. It's not going to be ideal, and I'll try and get underneath the shade cloth where it's really well, you know, covering everything. And the ones that don't have any covering, it will be really easy to water, and we're just hoping that water and the gypsum that I put on them will be enough. So we have put our van to very good use. Just about every possible space in here is full of mango trees. and put the 7 gallons below and the 3 gallons above, and it is packed. So definitely was nice to have this kind of vehicle. We don't use it for a lot of stuff, but it sure comes in handy when I'm trying to protect plants or picking up plants or delivering plants. Trying to not, oops. There we go. So Shannon has joined us now, and he has an interesting other strategy for protecting plants in cold weather. So can you show and tell?
Sure. I have an interesting take on a lot of things, I think.
Okay, show and tell.
Yesterday we were getting ready to, we were getting stuff ready for the cold, and I got done with everything, and I had these two little avocado trees that had just started pushing flowers out for the first time. One's a Hawaiian variety, so I know it's like part Guatemalan, part Mexican, so I mean, they're probably frost intolerant. And I had these little swimming pools, these little kiddie pools that I put trees in, small 1 and 3 gallon trees in, and didn't have anything to do with them. So I got the bright idea to create what I call the clamshell kiddie pool clamshell. And basically it's just two of those pools put side by side. Every tree has kind of an angle it grows rather than perfectly circular. So I took the two short sides and clamped them together and just took clear tape, and they stay by themselves, but we had such wind last night. The ladders and the pots and bracing was because of the wind blowing so hard, didn't want it to kind of jostle them around, but they lasted the night, and I like how they look. So like I said, kiddie pool clamshell. It was an impromptu idea last night just before dark.
So basically, you have young plants and small pools, and you were able to rig up something where you could keep that fairly isolated from what's going on outside here, because it did get rather cold.
Yeah, it did.
And very windy.
It was a little windier down here, so the one here has started to separate a little. The tape didn't hold quite as well. The one up the hill is still perfectly sealed. And the wind was coming this way, so I oriented them so that the wind would hit the flat side, and that's kind of counterintuitive to a lot of things you don't want to move, but if I turned them sideways, the wind would just whip through the crack. And so that was the idea for the orientation for them as well. I'll have to wait another day because it'll be cold tonight, and then I will unwrap the present and see if they still have buds on them.
Yeah, so make sure you have a drum roll for when you do that.
I did, and just for fairness sake, I did heavily water them to water down the mulch and the plant to try to provide some insulation for the roots, because avocados have fairly shallow roots. So.
Well, I hope it all works out.
I do too.
We'll get to find out soon.
Yep, absolutely.
So with these plants, I have put gypsum on all of the plants. I've watered all the plants. I'm watering them at least once a day. And that's pretty much all I can do at this point. We really don't know how bad the weather has impacted any of the plants. It's just a little bit too early to see. Unless we had gotten an ice storm or something like that, we wouldn't see immediate damage on the trees. But right now they're looking good, and the weather's, we've got nice sunshine now, toasting them up a little bit. So I think that it's a pretty good bet that most of these plants will make it, but we'll just have to wait and see. So a lot of you might be wondering about mango season 2026. We are too. You can't really know what's going to happen until it happens with mangoes. We're hoping that the damage from the cold was minimal, but we don't know yet. This tree you might recognize. We had this in a previous video. This is Jakarta, and it was star performer on bloom. And now it seems to be star performer on young fruit and bloom. That's another bloom on the tree. So we see a lot of small fruit, but we really don't know if the weather is going to impact that fruit or not. We're hoping not. Everything's looking good now, but sometimes it can take a while before the cold damage shows up on the fruit, or even on, in some cases, leaves. Jakarta seems to be a great case of you can have two different blooms on the same tree. We have the young fruit from a previous bloom and now new bloom emerging. And so you can sort of see the same thing on other trees. There's a lot of trees that haven't bloomed yet. And so this cold snap that we've just had and are continuing to have, I'm still sort of shaking from the cold here, but that is going to trigger bloom in other trees. In Jakarta's case, it triggered bloom even though the tree had already set fruit, but on the trees that haven't yet bloomed, we certainly hope that they bloom in response to this last cold spell. So of course we're hoping that mango season 2026 is going to be great. I mean, it'd be wonderful if it were fantastic. But we really don't know yet. The weather is a huge variable and, yes, completely beyond our control. And so we just have to see what happens. I mean, we have sprayed some nutritional sprays on the leaves, and that helps with them withstand cold. But there's only so much you can do with things like that. You know, you hope that the weather is mild enough to not cause a lot of damage, but every variety of tree is on a different schedule and they have different cold tolerances and all sorts of variables. So the bottom line is we'll just have to wait and see. You know, we're hoping for a good mango season, but right now it's sort of challenging weather for the trees.